Hi YouTube, Timothy Unkert here. In this video I want to look at a few different string methods in the Dart programming language. So I want to look at the substring method, I want to look at the .contains method, and I want to look at the indexOf and last indexOf method. So in the end we'll create a program that will parse a full name into first and last names. So let's get started. Let's create our main function. So I'm going to type void main. And then we'll create by starting a string called my name, and I'm going to set that equal to Timothy Unkert. Okay, after that I'm going to just start by printing my name is, and then we'll use some string interpolation, my name. We'll save this file and then we'll open up the terminal here. And we'll run it. I think I called this Dart string method, so let's just run it, make sure everything's running well. Cool. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we are going to find the index of the space. And to do that, well, let's create a variable. Let's call it indexOf space and set it equal to my name dot, and then we'll do indexOf. And we'll look for a space. We'll look for that pattern. Okay, and let's just print the index of the space. Okay, so let's save it. Let's go back and open up our terminal here and rerun this. And you'll see we get 7 as the index of our space, which makes sense because we start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Cool. All right, so now that we know where the space is, we can use the substring method to break this apart. So what I'm going to do is create a string. We'll call this first name, and we'll set this equal to my name dot substring, and we're going to start at index 0, and we put the index that is one higher than the last letter we want. So we want one less than the index of the space, so I'm going to do index of space here, okay? And then we'll also create a string for the last name, and I'm going to set that equal to my name dot substring, okay? And we're going to go from the index of the space plus 1 all the way to my name dot length, because we want to go the length of the string will actually be 1 past the last index, okay? So that should get our first name and last name, and let's print them out. So we can say my first name is, and then we'll do a string interpolation, so $ first name, and then we'll also print my last name is, and we'll do $ last name, okay? All right, so let's save this program and let's test it out. And we see my first name is Timothy, my last name is Unkert. So it seems to be working, okay? So let's create now a program here that will ask the user for their first name and then or ask the user for their full name and then parse out their first and last name, okay? So what we'll do is we'll print some directions. We'll print enter your full name, okay? And then we'll take a string. We'll say the string full name equals stdin dot readline sync and have an exclamation point at the end. And I'm going to have to actually go up here and import a library for user input, so Dart::io, okay? And so what we'll do is we'll have a while loop, and we'll use this contains because we want to make sure we have a space. So we'll say while, and we'll say not, while the full name does not contain. And so we do this exclamation point full name dot contains, and we'll do a space. So this is saying while the full name doesn't contain a space, that's basically what that code is saying, then we're going to have to give the user feedback. We're going to have to print, you must enter a space between your first and last name. Okay, and then we'll print, enter your full name. Okay, then we'll say full name equals stdin dot read line sync, and okay, that'll be our while loop. So that will run. After that runs, we're going to look for the index of the space. So we're going to say int index of space equals full name dot index of, and we'll look for the pattern of the space. Okay. All right. So then we'll say that the string of the first name equals full name dot substring, and we'll start at 0, and we'll go up to the index of the space because we're going one higher than what we want, and then we'll do a string for the last name, and we'll set it equal to full name dot substring, and we'll go from the index of the space +1 to the full name dot length. Okay, and then we'll just print out your first name is, and we'll do first name, and then we'll also print out your last name is, and we'll do last name. And let's save this program and now test it out. Okay, so I'll bring up a terminal here. We'll run this program again. It says enter your full name. So I'm going to type Joe Schmo. It says you must enter a space between your first and last name. So I'll type Joe Schmo. So your first name is Joe, your last name is Schmo. Okay, now that's with us first not entering a space. Let's just make sure it works if we did it correctly the first time. So I'm going to type Timothy Unkert. Your first name is Timothy, your last name is Unkert. So our program runs successfully. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel.